Law Firm, ready to answer your legal questions live on air. I'm told we have a caller on the line from Montgomery. What's your question?
My question is, I was involved in an accident on October 1, and this person ran into me on the passenger side, and this person did not have insurance at all. Why is it that they can register a vehicle and don't have the insurance when they go and register the vehicle? I thought that the law of Alabama stated that everybody's supposed to carry vehicle insurance.
Ooh, Mildred has $1 million question.
She does, and she's spot on with that. There is a requirement, and you do have to have proof of insurance. Mildred, however, what happens, and we see it all the time, is somebody will get the insurance, go get their car registered, and then drop the insurance. And so there's lots of people, more than you would even imagine. I would say, you know, not half probably, but a large number of people don't have the proper insurance.
Or it lapses.
Yeah, exactly right. And they didn't renew it or whatever it might be. Those are all things that you really need to assume that people don't have it. And goes back to what I just said with Sally out here, is that the uninsured, underinsured motorist coverage on your policy, it's not required, but it's such a great thing to have, because if that happened to you, Mildred, and your policy should have coverage that would take the place, because what it is, it's uninsured or underinsured, meaning in this case, because they didn't have any, they are uninsured. So your policy would pick up because they're at fault, you're not at fault. If they didn't have enough, your injuries were sufficient enough to exceed their if they did have the coverage, then it's called the underinsured motorist protection, and it picks up where theirs leaves off. A lot of folks go, "Why do I have to use my insurance?" Well, you'll be glad that you have it if you're
That's
in
what
that
you pay
situation.
your insurance for.
That's exactly right. That's what you pay, a small part of the overall premium. It shouldn't make your rates go up, and I hesitate to say it will not make them go up, because they can go up for any reason or no reason, but it's certainly worth having that coverage if you find yourself in a situation where you need it.
Mildred, thanks so much for calling in this morning. We actually had a caller call in the newsroom this morning. I'll ask you that question in a second, but we have Bruce on the line as well from Troy. Bruce, what's your question?
My question is, if the two parties have insurance, and
Bruce, I think if you turn your TV down, you won't hear that feedback.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. My question is, if the two parties both have full coverage insurance and one party runs into the other, damage the vehicles and cause hospital insurance, and the claimant pays for the other party's damage, why should the person that suffers the injury have to pay for his hospital bills and his damage when the coverage is paying out? The party that's damaged usually have to pay for his bills and stuff like this. And this is a question I've always had, wanted to understand why does it work that way.
Well, you are the, let's say you're the injured party. If you're the injured party, you have an obligation to go get whatever medical treatment you need, or you know, the doctor says you go get this treatment. You're responsible to the physicians to pay the bills. You know, ultimately the at-fault party is responsible, but they're only going to pay one time. They're going to pay at the end. They don't pay as you go. So if you contact the at-fault party's insurance and they offer you a settlement up front for maybe your first ER visit, they don't pay you all along depending on your treatment. So typically they wait, or I would recommend you wait until all your treatment is completed, and then resolve the claim if possible with the at-fault party.
You always say that because they could pay lower or less than, and then you end up getting more treatment, and then they say we've already paid you.
That's exactly right. You get one bite of that apple is the example. So I would make sure all your treatment is done. You're okay with the doctor giving you a clean bill of health and then work on trying to resolve the claim. But don't let 2 years go, because that's the other side of that, that if you wait too long, you could be locked out forever. You know, most of our cases are that. People call us early when it happens, which is great. But we don't, we don't send the demand, is how our process works. We don't send that to the insurance company until they're through with their treatment, because we don't know, like you just said, Jasmine, is that, hey, they may get better, great, hope they do, but it could be that nagging back doesn't get better, and lo and behold, they've got to have back surgery, but they didn't really find that out 3 months, 6 months later down the road, and you don't want to have resolved it. Even though your health insurance may continue to pay, you're not going to get what the law affords you the ability to recover. You're entitled to recover the medical bills, any out-of-pockets like lost wages, and pain and suffering. And that pain and suffering number is the gray area where really our firm lives, because the insurance companies try to pay as little as possible for that pain and suffering, and we want to maximize it for our clients. So great question. It can be very confusing, and that's why I recommend call us early to go through that and make sure you have a firm understanding of how the process works.
Bruce, thanks so much for calling. Stuart, remind people how they can get in touch with you, and then how they can ask questions as well right here in Alabama
Yeah,
Live.
it's as easy as dialing 3 for me, 333-3333, or go to the vancelawfirm.com or WSFA.com. Leave your question, and we'll try to get to it on a Thursday during this segment.
All right, Stuart, as always, thanks so much for joining us here on Alabama Live.
Absolutely.
We appreciate it.